Let's talk about Will Levis, the quarterback that had 4 passing touchdowns against the Atlanta Falcons and stood tall against the Pittsburgh Steelers on short week notice. I will say this about Will Levis. Going forward, and I said this last week, I'm doubling down on it. He should be the starter for the rest of the season. Get as much film as you can on this kid to see if he's your true franchise quarterback. I don't want to come in here and say that he's your true legitimate franchise quarterback because it has only been 2 games, and I have done that in the past, and I've been burned because of it. But I will say this. The throws that he is making inside and outside the pocket, the way that he can get himself out of trouble, and his body and the way that he is built, he is meant to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And hopefully for the Tennessee Titans, he can be that franchise quarterback. This is a kid that should have been a first-round pick, be slid all the way to the 2nd round. One thing I love about his game, he is not afraid to take any hits, but at the same time, he has to learn when to not take those hits. He has a crazy athletic build, and he is also a quarterback that has a rocket arm. He can fit the ball into tight windows, and he can do some amazing plays on the run. One thing that does concern me about Will Levis with this team is the fact that the offensive coordinator, Tim Kelly, at some points in times, he'll let him air the ball out. Then at other times, he goes too conservative. Let the kid figure things out on his own, like how he did against the Atlanta Falcons. He had 4 passing touchdowns for a reason. You just don't do that by luck. And we're seeing DeAndre Hopkins have a huge impact on this team right now. We then see DeAndre Hopkins have this impact for the first couple of games in the season with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is done with this team. He should not be the starting quarterback at all for the rest of the season. Knocking on wood, but if Will Levis was to go down, just put in Malik Willis. Ryan Tannehill is a scarecrow in the pocket right now. He cannot extend the play, and right now he's just not a good quarterback with this team. But Will Levis gives his team a lot of energy, and he gives them a lot of explosiveness as well with that arm that he has. Now, Malik Willis is still in this roster. I think that he is just a solid backup for this team. We saw what he was able to do last season, and it wasn't pretty. But what Will Levis has been able to do by coming in there, it has opened up the run game with Derrick Henry. You no longer see safeties in the box over and over again. The Steelers learned early in the game that you cannot put just 2 safeties in the box, just have those safeties down by the line of scrimmage, that you do have to have some guys over top because he can beat you with his arm with guys like Nick Westbrook-Akine and DeAndre Hopkins. Treylon Burks also was having some solid moments with Will Levis before he went down with his concussion. But I do think long term, this team around Will Levis, they'll be in a good spot. But the fact that he stood tall against that Steelers team with the best defensive player in football in TJ Watt, and also with them having Alex Highsmith, who was a very good pass rusher as well, and Cameron Hayward, he stood in there, he took those beatings, and the fact the game was that close, and he did not throw an interception, and to the last play of the game, shows you how good this kid can really be. He kept the Tennessee Titans in the game. Yes, Derrick Henry was a monster in the game. He had a rushing touchdown, but he was not up to his highest ceiling like we have seen before with Derrick Henry. Will Levis has shown that he can carry this team on his back already, and what he did against the Atlanta Falcons, because the Atlanta Falcons are a tough football team. That's not a team that you just scoff at. They have one of the top passing defenses in the NFL, and he got pressured 44% of the times in that game on his dropbacks. And the fact that he was able to throw for 4 touchdowns in that game, and he does not lock on the wide receivers, and it's the fact that he can keep the play alive. The reason why Malik Willis was such an interesting prospect for the Tennessee Titans was his athletic ability, but he was just such a raw passer. Will Levis has good athletic ability, maybe not to the same ability as Malik Willis, but he's a way better passer than Malik Willis. He can process information better, and he's a scan and react quarterback. He is looking at all 3 levels of the field, and he's delivering the ball there, and he can squeeze the ball into tight windows. I'm not saying that Will Levis is going to be a top 5 quarterback or a top 10 by the end of this season, but they definitely have something special with this kid. Keep him going. Their offense finally has a pulse. It just comes down to, can that secondary be better on the other side for that defense, and can that pass rush get home with Harold Landry and Jeffrey Simmons? The Tennessee Titans season is definitely not over, and I definitely can see Will Levis going out there and winning them a couple more games, and he's going to make it tough in that division. Not saying that they're going to go out there and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars or just compete with the Houston Texans right away, but they definitely have something special with this kid. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. And I also have to say this as well. I gave Tim Kelly, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm giving him a lot of flack. He called some terrible plays in the game against the Steelers. Just let Will Levis air the ball out and just take the handcuffs off. You did it in the first game against the Atlanta Falcons. I understand it's a short week going against a tough Steelers defense, but let them test out that secondary even more. But guys, let me know how you feel about the Tennessee Titans moving forward. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.